morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. Many of you have asked me after reading the bullying article how I forgave my mother for the things that she said to me when I was young. And it's interesting that some of you picked up on that detail in the story because that's not at all what the story was about. While it was a trigger for me, I have moved past it far enough that it wasn't a big part of the story. Had I written that story 15 years ago, there would have been a lot of blame on my mom. I blamed my mother because of the things that she said to me for a long time. It is very difficult to be a child who is overweight and go out into the world and be made fun of and come home to a place that's supposed to be safe for you and have your own mother essentially make fun of you. So I thought I would address this. Not only why did I forgive her, but how? Because so many people want to know, how did I forgive her for such a detriment? I didn't forgive her just because she's my mother. I forgave her because I truly believe that my mother didn't know any better. I believe that she thought that using reverse psychology on me at the time would be effective. She thought that making fun of me, my eating habits, my weight, would anger me to a point where I would then try to show her and stop eating and get skinny. I really believe that. She and I have had numerous conversations, emotional conversations about it. Now that I'm a mother, I understand that mothers don't always do everything right. They do the best they can. And in any situation, when they know better, they do better. So I believe that my mother's intentions, believe it or not, were good. Her method was terrible. So when I was able to really get that, I was able to know that I wanted to forgive her. So how did I forgive her? For years, I was resentful, angry, hurt, and any time it came up, or any time she showed any criticism towards me whatsoever, I would overreact, lash out, get nasty, try to attack her, cry. Years I reacted that way. That didn't help anybody. It certainly wasn't helping me. The emotion towards my mother was always right here, ready to bubble over. Do you know what a painful existence that was for me? Not for her. As bad as she could have felt for what she did to me. And I know that she felt terrible because she's my mother and she loves me. She could never have felt as bad as I felt. So who was really suffering with me carrying all that around? Me. And I was exhausted. It's exhausting carrying that much resentment around. Resentment is it's like a weight on your back that nobody can see. Forget a chip on your shoulder. A chip on your shoulder is easy to carry around. A chip doesn't weigh but $1. Resentment, whew. Have you ever carried a boatload of resentment on your back? It is heavy. So, I understood that the forgiveness was for me, not for her. I had to offload some of this resentment. I was exhausted. And I was able truly to understand exactly how I felt about it. I knew where it was coming from. I knew why she did it, even though I disagreed with it and thought it was gross. I knew in my smarter part of my brain, the unemotional part, where it was coming from. Once I really made peace with that, it was easy. And when you want to forgive somebody, it doesn't mean you have to piece it out with them. You don't have to be cool with them. You don't have to reconcile. You just have to truly understand where their actions were coming from. First and foremost, you have to want to forgive. Above all, you have to truly want it. Once you want it, understand where it was coming from. Once you can like say, this person hurt me because this is exactly where it was coming from, you can decide to move forward or not. It was my mother. I wanted to move forward. My goal was to heal the relationship. Sometimes forgiveness is not about healing the relationship. It's about releasing the resentment and the hurt for you and moving on. She was my mother, so I didn't want to do that. The number one thing I have found in forgiveness for me is that I can control my own actions towards people. I can control my words. I can control my actions. I cannot control the words or actions of others. I cannot stop people from hurting me, but here's what I can do. What I can do is set boundaries for what I'm willing to accept. That is all we can do. You'll never be able to stop someone from hurting you. Not a friend, not a parent, not a sibling, not a lover, not a coworker. If they want to hurt you, they're going to try. The only thing you can do is set boundaries for what you're willing to accept. And hold steadfast at the line. If they cross the boundary, you're done. And now you have to choose whether or not you want to forgive. The beauty of forgiveness is it is the ultimate personal power. You set yourself free, which is amazeballs, and then you have the freedom, the power, to set somebody else free with forgiveness. It is the ultimate personal power. There is no higher power as human beings that we have than the power of forgiveness. So use it wisely and become good at it. Practice forgiving people. Because like I said, it is the ultimate personal power. You want to feel powerful in your life? Practice the art of forgiveness. Get good at it. Look at people. Look at where their hurt and pain is coming from. Why are they hurting you? Understand where it's coming from. Rationalize it. Set boundaries for yourself. And then start to practice forgiveness. Because now I can be around my mom for hours and not feel that pain. And you know how glorious that is? Because that was exhausting. It was killing me. All right, so everybody practice a little forgiveness today. Practice. I love you. Have a great day.